Hello and welcome to Quick Invest Brief. What if I told you the secret to being more productive, achieving more, and feeling less stressed is to actually do less? We are so often told to hustle harder, to put in the hours, and to sacrifice our free time. But today, we're going to prove that strategic laziness is the real superpower you've been missing. This is the surprising truth behind why less effort can sometimes lead to far more success, especially when managing your money and your career trajectory. Imagine hitting your biggest goals with less stress, more free time, and feeling genuinely refreshed. Sound impossible? It's not. Get ready to ditch the grind and rethink everything you thought you knew about effort, time, and wealth starting now. Let's cut through the noise of hustle culture. The modern financial world is obsessed with the grind. You feel pressure to answer emails at midnight, take calls on vacation, and constantly fill every minute of your day with activity. But what is the actual return on investment for working 70 hours a week? For constantly feeling burnt out, the data is clear. Beyond a certain point, more effort leads to diminishing returns and eventually, a state of deep exhaustion that impacts your ability to make rational financial decisions. The hustle fallacy is the belief that volume replaces value. You are constantly busy, but you aren't achieving breakthroughs. You are mistaking the low-impact activity of checking email or sitting in meetings for the high-impact achievement of deep thinking, strategy, and negotiation. These low-value tasks consume your mental resources, leaving you mentally depleted when a high-stakes financial choice like rebalancing your portfolio or deciding on a career pivot needs to be made. If you want massive, sustainable success, you need a different philosophy. You need to stop being a human hamster wheel and start being an intelligent, strategic, lazy investor. The foundation of our approach is the greatest productivity secret in history, the Pareto Principle or the 80-20 rule. The rule states that 20% of your inputs generate 80% of your outputs. This applies everywhere. 20% of your clients provide 80% of your revenue. 20% of your investments generate 80% of your long-term growth. Even 20% of your weekly spending likely accounts for 80% of your budget problems. The strategic lazy investor doesn't waste time on the trivial many, the 80% of tasks that only produce 20% of the results. Instead, they ruthlessly identify their vital few, that powerful 20%, and give those tasks 100% of their best focus. This focus is an economic multiplier. It means dedicating your prime hours to client acquisition over administration, to learning a new high-income skill over passive scrolling, or to evaluating a single high-quality stock over trading penny stocks. If you don't know your 20%, you are working hard on the wrong things. True laziness is knowing exactly where to apply minimal, targeted effort for maximum financial impact. So where does the real magic happen? In the art of intentional idleness. The reason the 80-20 rule works is because your brain needs space to process. Creative breakthroughs, complex solutions, and major strategic leaps, the things that generate 80% of your success, rarely happen when you are actively hammering out a spreadsheet. They happen when you're relaxed, bored, or distracted by something non-work related. Think of history's great minds. Archimedes didn't solve his famous problem by grinding. He solved it in the bath. This is what we call deliberate downtime or slow thinking. It's not procrastination, it is scheduled high-value rest where your brain's subconscious connects the dots for your next massive financial move. The default state of your brain, the default mode network, is where synthesis and planning occur. You can only access this critical mode when you stop forcing the issue. This makes intentional stillness one of the highest return activities of your day. If you are always busy, your brain is always executing orders, not creating new high-value strategies. To win big, you must schedule time for doing nothing and treat it as the most important task of the week. Now let's talk about the playbook, creative constraints. The best way to be strategically lazy is to limit your resources. When you have unlimited time, you tend to over-engineer, complicate, and burn energy on non-essential details. When you introduce a constraint, say forcing yourself to complete a major task in 2 hours instead of a full day, you are forced to find the most efficient, high-leverage path. This is a critical skill for entrepreneurs and investors who need speed and efficiency. This is lazy engineering in action, building robust, simple systems that require minimal upkeep. Think set it and forget it investment strategies versus constant day trading. The strategic lazy person chooses the system that minimizes future effort. To implement this, you need ruthless prioritization. Every day, start by asking, if I only do one thing today, what would give me the biggest lift toward my biggest financial goal? That is your 20%. Do that one thing first with laser focus, then use automation and delegation to eliminate the rest. Leverage technology like AI to take over that tedious 80% of research, scheduling, or data entry, protecting your precious time for high-level decision-making. The final payoff is sustainable wealth and well-being. Hustle culture is a sprint you can't win. It's a fast track to physical and financial mistakes driven by exhaustion. Strategic laziness is a marathon where you conserve your energy for the moments that truly matter. By adopting this approach, you are building a life that is high impact, high profit, and low stress. You protect yourself from burnout and reserve your best thinking for where it truly counts, your long-term financial future. Here is your strategic laziness playbook to start today. Map your 20%, don't guess. Analyze your last year's successes. What 20% of actions created 80% of those results? Make a physical list of your vital few tasks. Schedule idleness. Put a 30-minute block on your calendar every single day labeled CEO thinking time. Treat it as a protected, high-value meeting with yourself. Use the friction, leverage AI, automation, or even delegation to create friction against low-impact tasks. Make the 80% harder to do than the 20%, ensuring you default to high-value work. Stop chasing busy, start chasing leverage. By strategically choosing to do less, you are making the smartest financial decision of your life. Thank you for tuning into Quick Invest Brief. If you are ready to trade the grind for the gold, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights that help you simplify your path to sustainable success.